All right, everyone. Hello and good evening. This is going to be an ASX update. So I'm not going to do the ASX and the US markets combined because it gets too messy. My brain gets confused and I ramble on, and I think this is a more efficient way of doing things. So WA is on a lockdown as well. That's the first time since March. Or was it April? I think it was April where we were locked down for 6 weeks or so. So yeah, we'll see. Now, in regards to the markets, let's go back on track here. I'm an optimist, even though the S&P 500 did close where it did. So that's on the weekly. So it's a pretty significant move, to be fair. I mean, we have had a lot of upside, but we'll probably open lower. And we'll probably open lower across the board because that's what has been happening. And it's frustrating and unfortunate. I mean, I don't hold many Aussie stocks. I've sort of rotated out of Aussie into US positions, but I'll do a US update shortly. Now, I did talk about FMG in my end of week update. Mining shouldn't be affected by this at all, is what the consensus is in the press conference from Mark McGowan. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, if there is, for some reason, if there's a gap down, like a silly gap down, I'm just going to hold. I'm not going to panic and get out, and I do see buying opportunities on this as well. So this might be the title of the video. I'm not too sure what the title of the video is going to be. Maybe just a generic ASX. Watch this video or something like that. But Andrew Forrest has been on, I think it was ABC, some sort of lecture, a Boyer lecture, I think is what it was called. And he was talking about hydrogen, how he secured a lot of favorable deals for the company with hydrogen. He just seems, he's like the Elon Musk of Australia. I've said it. That's how I've classified Andrew Forrest. And I'm a fanboy, and I'm a fanboy of Elon Musk as well. So, all right. Okay. Let us go to, I guess another talking point is hydrogen stocks, because they were sold off quite aggressively on Friday. We've got the daily time frame up here as well. So H&R, I like. Let's run it through. A good friend of mine, Aaron, sent through a couple of hydrogen stocks. Now, this is all just technical. So I'm not going into the figures or the numbers. This would just be literally a bounce play, which I would hold maybe for the day or 2 days. Like if the strength is holding up, if the market depth is favorable, I will hold a position. But it'd be like something you'd get in for $5,000. If that's appropriate for you, obviously, if you only had $5,000 to your name, you wouldn't be getting it at $5,000, maybe like $500 or something, like a 10% of your account type play. Even less, if you're conservative. So AVL was trade lower, FGR. And it says graphene. Might be graphite. Graphite is contained in lithium batteries as well in the EV space. All right, and RLE. Real Energy Corporation. I think, just looking at it, the play was probably already on RLE as well. Like you probably needed an order down at 76, so it has rallied a little bit. But I like HZR the most, and I also, let's go to HZR first, and then I'll jump to PLS as a lithium play. So this is looking a little bit better. It closed near its low. The other play, RLE, closed quite off its low, which is, the bounce has already happened. I quite like this. We might see a little more downside everywhere. I'm not really calling a sector. I mean, maybe buy now, pay later, but the West Australian economy isn't significant compared to Melbourne and Sydney, like when those were locked down, obviously. It seemed that buy now, pay later stocks, caught a bid, so to speak. But you never know. Tomorrow's probably going to be red. It's probably going to be red. Everything's going to be down. It won't make sense. Qantas is probably going to get kabooshed. Maybe Flight Centre as well. But it's a little frustrating. The vaccine chatter is still a bit all over the place. And when we get the vaccine, it's still all over the place as well. And, with the S&P 500 doing what it did, we're strongly correlated really to the US markets, even though we shouldn't be, but we are. And it's frustrating. That's just life. So PLS. So I'm still very much bullish on lithium. I still hold INF as well. I got out of Hawkstone simply because it moved a lot and I just took profits. And I'll probably re-enter on that one. So PLS is something that I'm looking at. 87 looks pretty sweet. So, I was talking about this at 105. I kept talking about it. So this is something that I'll pay attention to. I want to see what CSL's doing as well, actually. I was in CSL from 290 and I got out of CSL at about 288. So now this is looking a bit better for an entry. It wasn't so great on the news. Obviously, the COVID vaccine that they were developing was showing false positives for HIV. So, this is quite interesting. So where was it supported to a 68? So CSL might be an entry potentially. All the earnings are coming up. Interesting. And then let's go to Zip. And let's go to Afterpages, just because. I'm doing this standing up because I've got a desk we can raise and lower, and I regretted that because it's been a big day today. Actually trained in the gym this morning, and now it is what it is though. So Zip, it's a very neutral candle on the week. Let's go to the daily and see what happened. I don't know. It's bouncing off 728. So we'll see. There's a lot of downside though. I'm not going to touch this because you see the upside to 848, cool, but the downsides, it's too risky, and Zip has proven itself to be quite unreliable, unfortunately. I was in Zip at 677 for 7,500 worth, and I got out at 555 because it just wasn't doing anything, and that's where it actually tumbled down to 496. But it did rally, and people held on, and unfortunately, I just didn't really want to participate in what could have been a real ugly sell-off. But I'd revisit this. I was probably in it too much, honestly, with the position sizing. But you live and learn, honestly. Let's have a look at Afterpay as well, because I did do a review, but I didn't really. I was all over the place because I was doing US stocks as well. I was talking SPACs, I was talking Forex, I was talking this. When really I just need to focus on the ASX when I'm doing an ASX video. So this is cooled off a little bit. There's still a lot of room for it to fall as well. And I'll let it do that. BET. I've been talking about BET a little bit. Let's just see how that closed. That's something else that yeah, nice. So BET right now is actually pretty attractive. So there's a few. There's BET, there's Zip, there's Afterpay. Afterpay and Zip are probably not on the primary watch list. It's probably HZR, PLS, and BET. And I guess I'm already in lithium, but I like PLS. But HZR is fake. I'm leaning toward HZR. So maybe a half position on HZR, half on PLS, and then maybe BET as well. So a half position is like $2,500. Just to spread it out a little bit. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'd love to see FMG rally. I want to add into FMG as well. And that's it, guys. That's the update on my thoughts on the ASX. And really, I think, honestly, the situation in Western Australia is somewhat under control. But we won't know until the next update, the next COVID update, probably tomorrow morning, which will be about 11 o'clock East Coast time, 8 o'clock Perth time. So until then, we'll see how the market opens, and we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.